Welcome to Fantavision. Game over. Thank you for playing. See you again. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the world of Fantavision. The explanation of the Fantavision game rules are divided into 4 sections: Basic Rules and Advanced Rules 1, 2, and 3. First, try to master the basic rules to enjoy the Fantavision world. Let's begin with the basic rules. Fantavision is a game in which you detonate firework flares that are launched in the air. The red circle in the middle of the screen is your cursor. Use this cursor to detonate the flares. Now, let's actually try to detonate a flare. Move the left analog stick on the controller to extend and control a guideline from the cursor. Align this guideline with a flare, and press the X button to move the cursor to the flare. This is called capturing a flare. Continue to capture flares until you have captured 3 or more flares of the same color. At this time, the captured display will flash in the upper left screen. Press the circle button to detonate the captured flares. This is called detonating the flares. Repeat this process to detonate the flares and create fireworks. As long as you capture at least 3 flares, you may flash as many as you like at one time. If you fail to capture a flare after a certain period of time, the flare will disappear, and the play meter on screen will decrease. Also, if you capture the flare but fail to detonate it, it too will disappear after a certain period and be counted as a missed flare. Your play meter increases slightly by detonating the flares. However, if you miss several flares, your meter will decrease. And if the meter reaches 0, it's game over. This concludes Fantavision's basic rules. For more advanced techniques, please see the advanced rules. This is an explanation of the Advanced Rules 1, Chains and Types of Flares. Detonating a flare will create firework sparks. When a spark from a firework touches a same-colored flare, that flare will automatically be detonated. This is called a chain reaction. Let's see how a chain reaction works. First, capture flares and detonate them. When the sparks from the fireworks touches other flares of the same color, the flares will detonate. The shape of the fireworks differ according to the type of flares. Let's look at the different types of flares. A peony flare looks like this. When you detonate a peony flare, it creates a circular firework. This is your standard type of flare. Another circular type is the daisy flare. Just like the peony, the daisy flare detonates to create a circular firework. Type B, the willow flare. This is what a willow flare looks like. When you detonate a willow flare, the spark falls downward, like a willow tree. As a result, the chances for a chain reaction last longer than when a Type A flare is detonated. In the same type, there are the splash flares. Similar to the willow, the splash flare detonates with descending sparks. Type C, the wide flare. A wide flare looks like this. When you detonate wide flares, the chances for a chain reaction are spread in a wide area across the screen. Type D, the multi-flare. The multi-flare looks like this. When you detonate multi-flares, they split into smaller flares. And if you press the circle button again, all the small flares will detonate at once. Learn the different types of flares and use them to create chains. This concludes the explanation of chain reactions and types of flares. This is an explanation of the advanced rules to chains. Detonating multiple flares at once is called a chain. Let's see what a chain looks like. Four flares were detonated in succession. Each detonation is counted as one chain, and at the end of the chain number and a bonus score is displayed on screen. Flares that were detonated by a chain reaction will also be included in the chain number. Let's look at how this works. First, 4 flares are detonated. At this point, the number of chains is 4, but in a chain reaction, more flares are detonated and the chain number increases. In the end, the total number of chains is 8. There are 3 basic colored flares: red, blue, and green. In addition to these colors, there is also a multicolored flare called a wild flare. This is a wild flare. Wild flares may be combined with any other flare. You can first capture a wild flare and combine it with any color, or capture it in between flares. Of course, you can also capture 2 wild flares with one other colored flare as well. However, wild flares cannot be detonated on their own. To detonate a wild flare, you must capture it in combination with a color flare. Usually, you can only detonate a single color at a time, but by using the wild flares, you may detonate different colors at the same time. Let's see how this works. First, let's capture a blue flare. Next, we'll capture a wild flare. As you can see, we may now detonate the flares. But since the last captured flare was a wild flare, we can also continue to capture flares of a different color. Now, if we detonate the flares, all flares can be detonated at the same time. Using the wild flares to detonate different colored flares is called a daisy chain. In addition, a chain reaction can occur with any of the colors that were detonated in the daisy chain. Thus, usually these blue flares could only be detonated if they touched the blue sparks, but in this case, the blue flares also react to the green sparks and are detonated. Daisy chains are calculated as additional special bonus points, separate from the chain bonuses. Daisy chains are a little more difficult, but a necessary technique to achieve a high score. Try using daisy chains when you have become familiar with the game. This concludes the explanation of Advanced Rules 2, Chains. This is an explanation of the Advanced Rules 3, Items and Star Mines. Sometimes an item will appear when you detonate a flare. There are several different kinds of items. Some will recover your play meter, and others may be used in place of flares. Like wild flares, items may be captured in combination with any colored flare. Of course, you may also create a daisy chain using an item. The item will take effect when it is detonated. There is a special mode in the game that will help you increase your score. This is called the Star Mine. The Star Mine requires an item called a star. This is a star. When you detonate the star, a letter in the Star Mine display at the bottom of the screen will light up. When you have collected all Star Mine letters, a special flare called a Star Mine flare will appear. This is a Star Mine flare. Like the wild flare, a Star Mine flare may be combined with any other colored flare. When you enter the Star Mine flare, Star Mine, you will enter the Star Mine. The more flares you detonate with the Star Mine flare, the longer your playtime will be in the Star Mine. In the Star Mine, a large number of flares are launched at a faster pace than in normal mode. The colors of the flares launched in Star Mine is determined by the color of the flares that are detonated with the Star Mine flare. In the case you see here, only the red flares will appear. In the Star Mine, you can earn more points at a faster pace than in normal mode. Note that in the Star Mine, instead of showing the next flare, the remaining length of time is displayed on screen. Also, for each flare you miss, your star mine time decreases instead of your play meter. Note that if you miss many flares in succession, the star mine will end quickly. When the star mine ends, the results screen will be displayed. The score you achieved in the star mine is displayed. This concludes our explanation of Advanced Rules 3, Items and the Star Mine. We hope you enjoy the world of Fantavision. Welcome to Fantavision. Three chain. Three chain. Four chain. Five chain. Four chain. Four chain. Five chain. Star. Three chain. Five chain. Three chain. Star. Five chain. Five chain. Four chain. Star. Two daisy. Eight chain. Energy up. Four chain. Seven chain. Seven chain. Three chain. Six chain. Three chain. Bonus points. Three chain. Three chain. Game over. Thank you for playing. See you again. Welcome to Fantavision. Three chain. Three chain. Four chain. Star. Eleven chain. 3 chain. 4 chain. 6 chain. 6 chain. Star. 2 daisy. 10 chain. Star. Star. 5 chain. 2 daisy. 10 chain. Bonus points. 4 chain. 6 chain. Star. 4 chain. Star. Star. 2 daisy. 7 chain. Bonus points. 10 chain. 3 chain. 4 chain. 6 chain. 4 chain. 3 chain. 6 chain. 4 chain. Star. 2 daisy. 10 chain. Energy up. Star. Star mine. Very good. Four chain. 3 chain. 5 chain. 6 chain. 3 chain. 4 chain. Energy up. Star. 9 chain. 8 chain. Star. Stage clear. Congratulations!